So hi folks, I'm going to discuss to you the roots of Filipino character. So by the way, let me introduce myself. I'm Jonalyn Batoon Mabalot, an earning units student. So let's go. The roots of the Filipino character. So there are many characteristics that embody the Filipino, and indeed our strongest points here, also the reason of our weaknesses. So the strengths and weaknesses of the Filipino have their roots in many factors, such as one, the family and home environment, the social environment, culture and language, history, educational system, religion, the economic environment, political environment, mass media, and leadership and role models. But I will only going to discuss to you about the family and home environment. Okay. So the family and home environment. The main components of the home environment were the following: the child rearing practices, family relations, and family attitudes and orientation. So, how does the family and home environment affect Filipino characters? Considering the impact of the parents and the family environment on personality, one might expect children who raised by the same parents in the same way, in the same home, ought to turn out similar. But this fact isn't necessarily the case. So, it is true that environmental influences, including parenting, affect personality. So, yes, because the family has a very powerful effects on the developing child, impacting the attitudes, beliefs, opportunities, habits, and personality traits. So, in here, the family plays a critical role in determining who a child becomes and what he or she accomplishes. So, we have here the three main components of the home environment. So, we have the child rearing practices, the family relations, and the family attitudes and orientation. So let's discuss about the child rearing practices. So child rearing can be both difficult and rewarding at the same time. The goal of every parent is to have your child grow up to be a respectable and resourceful adult in society. So yun naman talaga ang gusto ng parents, ang maging mapaayos ang paglaki ng kanilang mga anak, 'di ba? Tayo din sa nung pinapalaki tayo ng parents natin, so pinalaki tayo ng maayos. So ano ba yung what is child rearing practices? So child rearing is the process of promoting and supporting the physical, emotional, social, and intellectual development of a child from infancy to adulthood. So, parenting in here refers to the intricacies of raising a child and not exclusively for a biological relationships. Family is our first community. So, here in our country, it is characterized by here the high nurturance, low independence training, and low discipline. So under the high nurturance, we Filipino grows up in an atmosphere of love and affection, providing the children with the opportunity, means, and support to pursue their goals. So I believe children who receive nurturance or high nurturance have stronger connections to their caregivers or to their parents, siblings, like that, and they learn to trust the world around them. So They feel safe and realize that you will be there for them when they need you, not just as a small child, but also later as they grow. So, children growing in a very affectionate environment where one learns that he or she is secured and can move safely. On the other hand, children learn to be independent on the authorities at home. So, at home, our parents gave their best to nurture us with all of their love and support for our development. So, next is the low independence training. So, under the low independence training, our parents tend to become overprotective. So, Filipino parents were being tend to become overprotection to their child. And some parents act on their own needs for power and use control and coercion to ensure that they remain the dominant forces in their children's lives. So, minsan, talaga, dahil sa sobrang pagmamahal naman natin sa me as a parent, sa sobrang pagmamahal sa mga anak, hindi mo na nanonotice na hindi mo na siya tinuturoan ng mga training grounds. Like for example, in doing the house chores. Instead of letting them do the house chores, you alone as a parent doing it. So, hindi mo na siya natuturuan, hindi mo na siya natitrain. Dahil din sa ayaw mo na siyang mahirapan. Like that. So, especially now, doing the modules. So, ayaw mo na mahirapan yung anak mo. So, you as a parent is doing all it along the way. So, the training, hindi mo na siya nititrain as a child para sa paglaki niya ay magkaroon na siya ng independency. So, ang tendency, as they grow up, children become dependent pa rin sa parents. So, yun ang isa sa mga kaugalian nating mga Pinoy. Overprotection. So, next is the low discipline. So, in here, parents' attempts to maintain the discipline come in the form of many no's and don'ts and a system of criticism to keep children in line. So, parents often compare each of their children to one another to see who is doing better so that the latter will try to do better than the other. But in here, when there are so many no's and don'ts, natuturuan mo yung mga anak mo na parang pag sinabi mo kasing no every time, so parang iisipin ng bata, oh, lahat na lang bawal. So, magkakaroon na siya ng afterwards, magbuwelga na yung bata or mawawala na siya ng disiplina dahil sa kababawal, yan, magiging pasaway na sa afterwards, sa paglaki niya. And then, it is not also good for them to compare each other dahil mawawalan na rin sila ng kumpiyansa sa sarili. But this is true sa ating mga Pinoy. We tend to compare our children to each other. So, this will result into a low discipline. So, next is the family relations. So, in a large family where we are encouraged to get along with our siblings and other relatives, we learn pakikipagkapwa-tao. So, under pakikipagkapwa-tao, we Filipinos are open to others and feel one with others. We regard others with dignity and respect and deal with them as fellow human beings. So, pakikipagkapwa-tao is manifested in a basic sense of justice and fairness and in concern for others. It is demonstrated in the Filipino ability to empathize with others, in helpfulness and generosity in times of in the patience of bayanihan or mutual assistance, and in the famous Filipino hospitality. Pakikipagkapwa-tao results in a camaraderie and a feeling of closeness to one another. It is the foundation of unity as well. So this is why you may notice that the people in a vicinity most of the time know each other. So, in an authoritarian setting, we learn respect for age and authority. At the same time, we become passive and independent on authority. So at home, we learn the values of respect to elders and those who are in authority, and to give importance of our relatives. So one of the precious things Filipinos have is that we are respectful. So tama naman, di ba? So young, youth, people in all ages know how to show respect and courtesy. So some ways to show them are the use of po and opo. So we also use the pagmamano sa mga nakatatanda, or putting the back of the elder's hand on the forehead, and calling our older siblings or elders as ate or kuya, like that. So children are taught to value family and to give it primary importance. So putting importance to the family. So this implies that a person will put a high regards and concern over the family before anything else. So this is one of the reasons why a father or a mother in a Filipino family will seek employment abroad just to earn decent earnings for their family and to meet the family's basic needs and wants. So we Filipinos are known to have close family ties. So whether short or long and distant, we Filipino family will choose to live close to each other. So number 3, the family attitudes and orientation. So family orientation. The Filipinos' family orientation may be attributed to the colonial times when the hierarchical structure of family has been in prevalent place, where age and status demand high levels of respect, and the good of the family takes precedence over personal desires. This characteristic is still present despite modern times. So So unlike other cultures, Filipinos have extended families consisting of the grandparents, parents, and the siblings. Even if the kids already have jobs or are already professionals, they stick to their parents. So, like married couples also live with their parents. So Filipinos are known for having strong and close family ties. So they place high regard and put importance on their family before anything else. So they work all day and do all they can to feed and provide for their family. So in other countries, where when a person turned 18, she can live away from his or her family. So while in the Philippines, we value family so much that they keep them intact through the years. So family orientation means committing to your family first, appreciating the relationship you share with them, and demonstrating the appreciation through your priorities. So being family oriented is a state of mind informed by your value system, which serves as a guide for structuring your life around your family. So when we say family rotation, it's not also about spending all your free time entertaining your family members. So maybe spending the quality time. It is a commitment to a relationship, wanting to spend time together and looking forward to the company of the family. So like for example, Christmas. So one of our traits is, one of our characteristic is yung pagsasalot, sama-sama kahit malayo o uwi for family celebrations. So family orientedness is a strength. On the other hand, it is also a weakness, because sometimes we tend to focus only on our families, which result to overprotection, and we tend not to notice that we hurt others. So like that. So we also have here the social environment. Under the social environment, like physical environment, influences the life and progress of any country. So the term social environment means the people and their character and culture. So the racial ancestry, the population growth, the religion, customs, language, arts and sciences, the government, and the economy shape the lifestyle of the people. So under the social environment of the Filipino, it is characterized by a feudal structure with great gaps between the rich minority and the poor majority. So this feudal structure develops dependence and passivity. So we Filipino is raised in an environment wherein one must depend on the relationship with others in order to survive. So in a poor country where resources are scarce and for the systems meant to respond, the people's needs can be insensitive, inefficient, or non-existent. So the Filipino becomes very dependent on kinship and interpersonal relationship with each other. So we Filipinos develop the trait pakikisama, which in general means togetherness, camaraderie, or what sociologists call the need for people in the Philippines to maintain smooth interpersonal relations. So, the prevalence of pakikisama is one of the reasons that the Philippines is seen as such a friendly country. So this value has the capacity to influence the whole of an individual. In cases such as being unable to say no to barkada, pakikisama then can become negative, which will hinder progress and development. So we also break gaps of social status in times of need, like the past calamities occurred in Cagayan, wherein everybody, no matter what is your social status in life, so everybody help and reach out for supports to rise again. So we Filipinos are very intact to each others. We tend to make pakikisama kahit na hindi natin kakilala. So that's our attitude and traits with our social environment. So that's the end of my topic and report. So you guys can add up your ideas and for additional inputs for our discussions in our GC. Thank you.